Hello everyone! In this video I'm going to talk about a program that changes the color of Vizlights based on the cover of the Spotify song you are currently listening to. You don't necessarily need to understand programming to use this script, so feel free to stick around even if you are not familiar with this. This is my first programming project and it is written in Python. Here are all the packages that I have imported. These are the instructions on what environment variables you have to use. Setting environment variables is specific to your operating system, so you will need to find those settings. You can find the IP of your Vizlight by running findip.py. This is just a basic Python program that prints the IP address of your Vizlight. There are some folders and a CSV file that need to be created, so for the first time you run this code, it will do that automatically for you. The temporary files will also be cleared, so unnecessary images don't clog up your system. The scope just tells Spotify what this program is going to do, so it's going to read whether you have a song playing or paused, and most importantly, it's going to check the information of the current song that is playing. There is an instance of Spotify as well, and Spotify is just a Python library that makes it much easier to access information from Spotify. This function turns on the lights based on the image processing, which will come later on. The most important thing here is that the white color is changed to cold white because I think it results in a much nicer color. You can of course tweak these settings yourself if you download this program. The variables last ID and new ID are used because Spotify doesn't let you check whether a song has been skipped or not, so this is essentially a solution for that. This loop runs every time you start this program, and it runs until you stop the program. When the loop has just started, it will check the song you are currently playing. If it finds that there is no song playing, it will sleep for 1 second, and then it will check again until it finds a song. Once it finds a result, it gets the URL of the image and also the album ID. The program then checks if this album has already been played. Let's say that it hasn't because it is our first time running the program. It will then start the image process with downloading the image from the URL. Finding the one color that should be displayed from a 640 by 640 image can be done in numerous ways. I have tried to resize the image into a 1 by 1 pixel and then use the color of that pixel, but I have found that results in quite ugly colors, sort of like when you mix many different colors of paint together. The process that I have come up with is probably a bit more complicated than it needs to be, but I quite like this system, so let me tell you how it works. It takes the original image and then changes every color to one of 27 colors. It then takes that image, finds the most commonly occurring color out of the 27. But you don't want your lamp to only display 27 colors, so it doesn't stop there. It changes anything but that one color to black, and then it goes back to the original image. It takes those pixels that remain and uses them to find the most common color out of those. This entire process will usually take 3 to 4 seconds, or maybe a bit more if you have a lot of programs running in the background. But you don't want to wait that much every time you play a new song. Honestly, 3 seconds isn't that much, but this last part makes quite a lot of sense, so I think it's worth it. So the program saves the color value that is specific to that album cover in a CSV file. If we go back to the top of the loop, you can see that it takes the album ID and then it compares it to the CSV database. If it finds it in there, it will change the color of the lights in probably less than a millisecond, and if it doesn't, it still has the first option, which is to process the image. So yeah, this is basically it. The program can be downloaded through a GitHub link in the description. Let me know if you have any questions. If you have enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. I am a new channel, but I already have a few other videos. Feel free to check them out here. Bye!